All the Rage Gamer here, back at it with another video. Here we have chapter 2 of A Day in the Life of a Thought Criminal by Mr. Nute. So without further ado, let's get right on into it. Picking up where we left off. So now I will tell a different story. I have an article titled Military Use of Mind Control Weapons Judy Wall, 1998 PSYOPs Weapons Used in the Persian Gulf War. ITV News Bulletin, March 1993. Among other things, it describes the use of an ordinary FM radio broadcast tower to influence the behavior of Iraqi soldiers during the first Gulf War. I was in a mental hospital in the summer of 2008. No surprise there. Where I experienced something similar. I had a clinician assigned to me that I didn't like, so one day I was in my room and I had a long train of angry thoughts about her, and then suddenly she appeared. I think the train of thought was inserted remotely. This is what they do if you don't have electronics in your brain. I'm sure the electromagnetic emissions of the human body can both be sensed remotely and influenced remotely. I finished my latte and decided to go to the library. I started walking down Boylston Street. I get to Arlington Street and start thinking about the destruction of the rainforest and the Amazon. While it concerns me, I never think about it. I'm an endless stream of random thoughts, but most of them are angry and nasty. I get to Copley Square and there are a couple dozen people demonstrating about the rainforest. They're always trying to pull you in, gain your confidence. They want to plug you in, later proselytize. By the time I got to the library, I needed to use the restroom. A local elementary school was on a field trip touring the library. All the bathrooms were full. I waited about a half an hour before giving up. I headed for the mall at the Prudential. The main reason I go to the library is to get on the internet and make trouble. The psychos that be know this and probably sent the kids there to keep me moving. At the mall, I ran into a crowd of very young kids dressed up as Japanese anime. There were hundreds of them. I think there was a convention at the Heinz. I sat at a table near about a dozen of them to rest and think about where I would go next. It became obvious to me that they were aware of my every thought. I thought one of them was attractive. They took out their cameras and started taking pictures of each other. The one I thought was nice kept getting closer and closer, trying to get me in the background. What was I supposed to do? Hit on her? They'd have just called the police. I kept moving. I started thinking about lunch. There are a lot of places to eat on Boylston Street. For me, it's always Russian roulette. Decided to find a couple pieces of pizza on Newbury Street. The pizza must have had amphetamine in it. I could tell. The crap in the mattress wasn't enough. I was still early, so I decided to go back to the library and get on the internet. When I got there, the kids were gone and not many people on the computers. I decided to start researching satellites. Sometimes, not very often, if you do something spur of the moment, you can catch it off guard. I know if it is a person... I don't know if it is a person sitting in a computer or just a massive computer. I have a documentary that says there are 23 acres of computer under the NSA building at Fort Meade, Maryland. I lean towards the latter most of the time. As my research progresses, I find an hour-and-a-half long video about CIA keyhole satellites and start watching it. As it plays, it starts referencing things that happened to me earlier in the day. I decide the video is BS. It's the sort of thing that has me leaning towards a massive computer. That's what would be needed to produce an hour-and-a-half video in about 5 minutes. The CIA did have a satellite program called Keyhole. I continued to surf the web for a while, then I walked to Downtown Crossing. It's next to the Red Line, so I can get on the train when I'm done. I walked around a couple of department stores. Sometimes they have the TVs on in the electronics department so you can catch a little of the news. There is another reason why I think the problem is a massive computer. I see a lot of things on TV that are very weird and seem directed at me. I think they get broadcast to sets in my general vicinity and nowhere else. Then the story just disappears. I never hear or see it again. The singularity follows me wherever I go. And I think that's where we'll end Chapter 2 of A Day in the Life of a Thought Criminal by Mr. Nute. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave me a thumbs up down below and comment of what you thought of this. Again, I hope you enjoyed and tune in next time for Chapter 3. Thank you very much for watching.